Hello friends, today is the 10th March and our today's topic is also oops because we already created a video on the topics on this topic, but it is not possible to cover all that oops concept in one video. So that's why I choose the topic for today. It's also the oops. We will discuss some more about that. So basically, first we are already known that C is a procedural based programming language. So let I clear that both 2 points how it is different that procedural programming language and object oriented programming language. So let me clear that. First of all, the procedural programming language, it has divided the small parts of program. In that procedural programming, we called it as a function. But in other hand, in object-oriented programming, we divided our programs into a small parts, but we are called it as an object. And after that, mainly procedural programming is follow the top-down approach, but in object-oriented programming, it follows the bottom-up approach. After that, there is no access specifier involved in a procedural programming, and onwards the object-oriented in that there is specific access specifier is included. And after that, we can say also the procedural programming it as much not secure than object oriented. So why? Because it don't uses the concept of data hiding and inheritance also. So that's why the procedural programming is the less secure, I think. And in other hand, object oriented allows the concept of the inheritance and also the data hiding properties are also including in object oriented, and it has also strong memory management, and also the automatic garbage collection that we can say the object oriented is most secure than procedural oriented. So we can take example of procedural, which is a C, or we can say the Fortran also basics, or Pascal also. These are the examples of procedural based programming languages. And in other hand, the object oriented is also one of the examples are Python, Java, or we can say C Sharp also object oriented. So these are the mainly difference between what exactly the procedural based and what is object oriented. So move on the object oriented in details. So basically in object oriented there are some important concept that known as a these are the features of, or we can say that these are the mainly concepts are used in object oriented programming language. When we are using that concept in our program, so then we call it as this language is object oriented or object based language. So these are the properties, or we can say the features that's are the abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, classes, objects, or we can say encapsulation also in that constructor. These are the all the properties and modifiers. So these are the all are make it as a object oriented. So basically the let me some brief discussion about that all the topics. So first one, which is a class. So basically class is a blueprint or a template. We can say that it is help to, or it is used to store our variables or objects. So these are the defining class, and there are some set of rules to declare a class. It has also already we discussed, but I will tell some 2 or 3 basic rules that our class name. These are the naming convention rules also. The class name is also must be started with the capital letters. We cannot start the class name with the numbers or any other special characters. It don't allow in Java programming language. So basically we have to take a fully qualified name to our class. That's why the it reduces our complexity, and reduces and it makes our program to human readable. Then anyone can read our program in a very simple manner. So that's are the more benefit. And after that, we can create a class in our program at once time, and we can contain in a class the methods are multiple time. After that, these are the some basic rules to declare a class. And another one, which is object. So objects is a real world entity, and we can say it is a physical entity. That means objects, we can say that in daily life we can see the more objects in our eyes. That's why this is a pen, or we can say this is a shirt, a t-shirt, these are nothing but the objects. So object is related to our human day-to-day lives. So that's why it is more important to understand programming level. So it makes our program very efficient to understand. In objects, it is a real world entity and we are using in our program. After that, we can say the inheritance. It is also most important features of OOPS. So basically, in inheritance, because the inheritance, we can create multiple methods or multiple classes in different packages or different classes. So that's why it reduces our code, and we don't need to code at multiple times. That's why it reduces time complexity also. And when in inheritance, we are creating a parent class, then after that we inherit the child class from that parent class. So child class is accessible, or it can be accessed to the all parent classes in that classes. So these are the most benefits of that inheritance. After that, polymorphism. In I forget to say that inheritance has five types. These are the single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and last one, which is hybrid inheritance. Uh, there is no support by class in Java programming language multiple inheritance. But when we talk to the use of interface, when we uses the concept of what exactly the interface, then we will understand that multiple inheritance is also possible in Java. So it makes the Java programming language it's very important. When we using an interface, then we will discuss it in details. So let's we move on the next, which is a polymorphism. So basically polymorphism is the poly means many, and morphs means forms. So we can guess that many forms means when if we have the real world example of polymorphism, we can say the humans also. Humans can perform a multiple tasks as a role that can be achieved. So for example, human as also the brother, and one human as also the father, or such can different roles can play one human. So that's the also we can say the polymorphism. These concept are implemented in our programming. That's why when we create a method in our program, so it behaves like the many forms. For example, we are creating a method in our one class, and if we want to access and in another class, but if we have a give different parameters to the class, then we can create a constructor of the class, and we can access that all the methods and variables for the storings in their particular class. So these are the most polymorphism example. And also we can say that there are two types of polymorphism, which is compile time polymorphism. It is also known as method overloading. And method overloading is the concept that means if the same name, same class name have the but in different parameters, if we pass in that parenthesis. So these are the method overloading. And after that, there are another type, which is the runtime polymorphism. It is also known as overriding. When we create a class of the parent class, and if we say the parent have some properties of there, and another one which is a create a child class. After that, the child can access the parent class, but when child has modified the parent classes in that their child area, in that area, after that, when at the time of execution, the child methods are overridden, parent methods or variables are overridden by the child classes. So these are this concept is known as a runtime polymorphism, or we can say it is a overriding property of that polymorphism. And another one, which is we can say encapsulation. So basically encapsulation is the wrapping up our data into a single unit. That means we don't need to access it in other area. We can access at the same time, because it is storing at the single unit. We can say the example of encapsulation, which is our medical capsule. That means contents of different type of medicines in that one capsules. And after that, we can say polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance we finish. and after that these are the mainly properties. And also the constructor. So basically constructor, it is when we create a same name of a class, if we want to access in the main method, so we can create a constructor. We are creating the constructor using a new keywords. There are also different ways, but mainly we are using a new keywords to create a constructor of that class. But there has some also the rules, set up rules to declare a constructor. That means our constructor name should be the same as the class name. After that we are creating the object in that. Then we have to clear that we can access the all classes members, data members we can access through that objects for creating constructor. These are the all properties of object oriented programming. I hope you understand all that. So thank you. Meet you soon in next video.